Lita, I have a terrible, incredibly expensive addiction, and it is completely destroying my small apartment. I am officially a book hoarder. I buy them, I stack them, and I never actually read them.
A book hoarder. Oh my goodness, Sam. Are you building a giant dusty paper castle in your living room? Hello, everyone, and welcome to another incredibly intellectual and slightly dusty episode of the English Unscripted podcast. I am Lita.
And I am Sam, and today, guys, we are talking about the absolute magic of reading, the beautiful smell of old paper, and the massive, heavy guilt of buying a million books and never opening them.
Exactly. It is a universal human disease. We are dividing this literary journey into 3 exciting chapters today. First, we will talk about the absolute addiction of wandering inside massive bookstores. Then, in Chapter 2, we dive into the painful struggle of actually focusing on reading a long page. And finally, Chapter 3 is all about the incredible magic of losing yourself completely in a fictional world.
3 chapters of pure bookworm therapy. But wait, Lita, before I confess my terrible bookstore crimes to the world, we have a very important creative mission for our amazing listeners today.
Oh, absolutely. It is challenge time, guys. What is the big strategy for our language learners today, Sam?
Listeners, if you truly want to speak fluent, beautiful English, you cannot just listen to our voices once. You have to treat this podcast episode exactly like directing a massive, expensive Hollywood movie.
A Hollywood movie. I absolutely love that. How does the movie director method actually work for our students?
Well, the first time you watch the video, you are just eating sweet popcorn and enjoying the funny plot. You relax and listen to the story. But the second time, you sit right in the serious director's chair. You pause the movie, you analyze the heavy B2 vocabulary script, and you practice your pronunciation lines out loud.
Yes, be the famous director of your own English movie, guys. Yell action. So, Sam, please tell me why you are hoarding heavy books. Did you buy another giant dictionary to hide your terrible grammar mistakes from the world?
Much worse, Lita. I went to that massive 3-story bookstore downtown yesterday afternoon. I wanted to look incredibly smart and sophisticated for the other people in the store. So I bought a giant 1,000-page historical fantasy novel. It weighs exactly like a heavy brick.
Oh no, 1,000 pages? Sam, you cannot even read a short 3-line email from your strict bald manager without falling asleep. Have you actually opened the giant fantasy book yet?
I have not read a single word, Lita. The book is so completely huge and scary. I put it right on my kitchen table yesterday, and right now I'm actually using it as a physical coaster for my hot bowl of sweet garlic mushroom soup.
You are using a literary masterpiece to protect your wooden table from the cursed garlic soup? That is completely disrespectful to the poor, hardworking author. But honestly, looking at a massive book with 1,000 tiny words on a page can feel incredibly scary for anyone.
Wait, Lita, let us pause your literary judgment for a second. I think that's a beautifully descriptive, highly emotional vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Intimidating.
Yes, intimidating. It's a powerful formal adjective that describes something or someone that makes you feel very small, frightened, or completely nervous because they're so huge, difficult, or impressive, like a giant heavy book with 1,000 pages staring at you.
Listeners, please practice this essential B2 level word and say it with us right now.
Don't be scared of the big words, guys.
Intimidating.
Intimidating. A massive fantasy book is completely intimidating, Sam, and you just buy them to look like a smart professor. And that actually makes me very curious about our wonderful listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Listeners, we have our first very guilty bookish question for you right now. Do you have a giant, dusty pile of unread books sitting on your bedroom desk? Do you buy beautiful books just because the cover looks cool and then completely ignore them?
Tell us your deepest bookstore secrets in the comments down below. We desperately need to know if Sam is the only person using literature for hot soup bowls. So Sam, did the sticky garlic soup completely ruin the beautiful, expensive book cover?
It didn't completely ruin it, Lita, but it was an absolute sticky disaster. A heavy drop of the warm garlic soup fell directly onto the beautiful, shiny golden title. I completely panicked, my heart started beating very fast, and I grabbed the closest piece of clothing to clean it, which was my bright yellow banana jacket.
You used your famous yellow jacket to clean sticky garlic soup off a 1,000-page fantasy novel? Sam, you are officially the most chaotic, messy reader in the entire world. Did your poor friend Mark see you do this terrible crime in your kitchen?
He absolutely did. He was sitting exactly across the wooden table. He saw the huge, sticky book, he looked at my dirty yellow jacket, and he reached his hand out and yelled, "Give me that heavy book right now before you completely destroy it."
Wait a minute, guys. Listeners, I have a fantastic native secret for you right here. Did you hear how Sam just pronounced the words "give me"? He said them very clearly and separated, exactly like a strict, polite British butler serving tea.
Wait, did I sound like a boring formal butler again, Lita? I thought "give me" was the absolute most polite, perfect way to ask for an object.
It's incredibly polite for a royal dinner party, Sam, but when native English speakers are talking very fast, or when we're desperately rescuing a sticky fantasy novel from our crazy friends, we almost never say "give me." We smash the two words together and just say "gimme, gimme."
Oh, wow. Gimme. Gimme that heavy book. Gimme the hot soup. That sounds so much faster and completely urgent, Lita. It really sounds like you're in a massive, exciting rush to save the literature.
Exactly. Try using gimme when you're talking quickly with your close friends, guys. It's a brilliant secret trick to make your casual spoken English sound incredibly natural and wonderfully fast. So, Sam, did Mark actually take the huge book, or did you say, "Gimme the book back"?
I snatched it right back from him, Lita. I firmly promised him I was going to sit down on my comfortable sofa, open the very first page, and read the entire heavy brick that same night. But honestly, I opened page 1, I stared at the tiny black letters, and my brain completely stopped working after exactly 2 minutes.
2 minutes of reading out of 1,000 pages. That's exactly the modern human curse, Sam. We buy these beautiful, expensive physical books, but our brains are so completely addicted to fast, glowing mobile phone screens that reading a slow paper page feels like running a massive physical marathon. Which brings us perfectly to Chapter 2 of our literary journey today. Listeners, put your bright mobile phones inside a dark drawer, because we are going to dive into the painful, highly distracted struggle of actually focusing your eyes on a printed page and how our smart technology completely destroyed our attention spans.
Lita, I sat down on my extremely comfortable sofa, I opened the heavy 1,000-page fantasy book, and I stared at the tiny black letters on page number 1. I was completely ready to be a smart, sophisticated reader.
That is a beautiful mental picture, Sam. You sitting quietly in a warm room without any sticky garlic soup, holding a classic piece of literature. How many pages did you actually finish before your brain completely stopped working?
Exactly half of the very first page, Lita. I read exactly 3 long, boring sentences about a dark, magical forest, and suddenly my bright mobile phone ringed very loudly from the kitchen table.
Wait, Sam, your phone ringed? The strict English grammar police are taking away your library card right now. Ring is an irregular verb, my friend. It absolutely does not take an ED at the end. Your phone rang. Ring, rang, rung.
Oh, right. Thank you, Officer Lita. My heavy brain was completely damaged by the tiny letters. Yes, my smartphone rang very loudly. So I put the heavy book down on the sofa, I walked to the kitchen just to quickly check the bright screen, and I completely fell into a deep digital black hole.
A digital black hole. Let me guess, it was a highly urgent, angry message from your strict bald manager telling you to finish a boring corporate tax report.
No, the bald manager was actually asleep for once. It was just a silly digital notification for a short video of a cat playing a tiny plastic piano. But I watched the piano cat, and then I watched 50 more funny animal videos. 2 entire hours completely passed by, and I did not read a single extra word of the fantasy book. I was completely, hopelessly distracted.
Wait, Sam, let us pause your terrible digital failure right there. I think that is an incredibly common, highly useful vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Distracted.
Yes, distracted. It's a very common adjective that describes feeling completely unable to pay attention to your main, important task because your brain is suddenly pulled away by something else that is louder, brighter, or much more fun, like a piano cat.
Listeners, please practice this essential B2 level word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Put your phone away.
Distracted.
Distracted. I am completely distracted by glowing screens all day long, Lita. The heavy paper book just sits there, judging me silently, and that actually makes me very curious about our struggling listeners.
Oh, yes. Listeners, we have our second, very relatable, slightly embarrassing question for you today. When you try to sit down and read a quiet paper book, how many minutes does it actually take before you grab your phone and look at the glowing screen? Are you completely addicted to short videos like Sam?
Tell us your absolute worst reading habits in the comments down below. We desperately need to know that I am not the only person failing at literature today. So, Lita, how do you actually stop the bright digital distraction? Do you lock your phone inside a dark, heavy box when you want to read?
I actually do put it inside a dark drawer in another room, Sam. If my phone is sitting right next to me on the wooden table, my weak human brain constantly whispers, "Just check one quick message, Lita. What if someone sent you a funny picture of a dog?"
Exactly. The phone is like a tiny, evil green alien constantly communicating with my brain. It tells me the strict bald manager is definitely sending me an urgent financial email, even on a quiet Sunday night.
That is exactly why you have to build a thick physical barrier, Sam. You have to leave the phone in the kitchen, make a hot cup of tea, and physically force your fast modern brain to slow completely down. Reading a heavy paper book requires a completely different mental speed. It usually takes about 15 solid minutes of quiet reading for your tired brain to actually relax and enter the story.
15 entire minutes of pure, silent torture without checking a screen. But honestly, I think you're absolutely right. If I can survive the first 15 minutes of staring at the black letters, something magical actually happens. I stop seeing the boring text, and I actually start seeing the dark magical forest and the giant dragons in my head.
Yes, that is the absolute best part of reading, Sam. That's the beautiful, quiet transition when the physical paper completely disappears and you dive deeply into the fictional world. You completely surround your mind with the author's beautiful imagination.
Wait, Lita, let us pause your beautiful literary description for a second. I think that's a fantastic, highly descriptive vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Immerse.
Yes, immerse. It's a wonderful, powerful verb that means to become completely and fully involved in something. When you read a great book, you dive so deeply into the story that you completely forget about the real physical world around you.
Listeners, please practice this beautiful B2 level word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Dive into the magical story.
Immerse.
Immerse. When you fully immerse yourself in a heavy fantasy novel, Sam, you completely forget about your sticky garlic soup, your ringing phone, and your busy corporate job.
I desperately need to immerse myself, Lita, because right now the only thing I'm completely immersed in is watching 50 short videos of cats playing tiny plastic pianos. I really want to travel to a magical, fictional universe where the bald manager does not exist.
And you absolutely can travel there, Sam. You just have to open the heavy cover, which brings us perfectly to the third and final chapter of our literary journey today. Listeners, make a fresh hot cup of tea and unlock your deep imagination because we're going to explore the incredible emotional superpower of fiction and how getting completely lost in a fake magical world can actually heal your real human life.
Lita, I actually did it. I locked my smartphone in the dark bathroom, I sat on my comfortable sofa, and I read for 3 solid hours. But now my real human life is completely ruined because of a fake fictional dragon.
A fictional dragon ruined your life? Oh my goodness, Sam. Did the magical dragon fly out of the heavy paper book and eat your terrible black brick bread?
I honestly wish he ate the heavy bread, Lita. No, I became completely obsessed with the main characters. I was reading the heavy book on the crowded public bus yesterday morning on my way to the office. I was so incredibly immersed in the magical story, and then the cruel author completely destroyed my heart. He killed my absolute favorite wizard character on page 200.
Oh no, the unexpected character death. That is the absolute worst, most painful betrayal in the entire world, Sam. You spend hours and hours learning about their magical lives, and then the author just throws them off a high cliff. Did you start crying loudly on the crowded public bus?
I absolutely did, Lita. Huge, real human tears were falling down my face. I had to use the sleeves of my bright yellow banana jacket to wipe my wet eyes. And the absolute worst part? The incredibly tall man with the giant leather cowboy hat, the exact same guy who stood in front of me at the Muddy Music Festival, was sitting right across from me.
The tall cowboy from the concert? The universe is completely making fun of you, Sam. He saw you crying into a bright yellow jacket over a fake magical wizard. You must have felt completely emotionally broken.
Wait, Lita, let us pause your terrible public embarrassment story right there. I think that is a beautifully sad, highly emotional vocabulary word for our listeners to deeply understand today. Devastated.
Yes, devastated. It is an incredibly powerful formal adjective that means to feel completely shocked, extremely sad, and totally emotionally destroyed, like reading the tragic death of your favorite magical character while sitting on a public bus.
Listeners, please practice this highly emotional B2 level word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Feel the deep sadness. Devastated. When you are completely devastated by a fiction book, Sam, it actually proves how incredibly powerful human imagination really is. The clever author made you cry real tears over someone who doesn't even exist. And that actually makes me very curious about our emotional listeners.
Oh, absolutely. Listeners, we have our third and final very dramatic question for you right now. Have you ever felt completely devastated by a paper book or a movie? Have you ever cried actual tears because a fake fictional character died?
Tell us your saddest reading moments in the comments down below. We desperately need to know if anyone else cries on public transport like Sam. So, Sam, did you throw the heavy book directly out the bus window, or did you keep reading the tragic story?
I absolutely did not throw it out the heavy glass window, Lita. I was way too emotionally invested in the dark, magical forest. I actually kept reading the heavy book while I was walking off the crowded bus, and I even read it while walking straight into my corporate office.
Oh no, walking and reading a 1,000-page dictionary is incredibly dangerous, Sam. You could completely walk into a clear glass door or fall down the concrete stairs. Did the strict bald manager catch you crying over a fictional wizard at your desk?
He did, Lita. He walked right up to my small desk to ask about the boring financial tax report, and I was wiping my red eyes with a tiny white napkin. He looked at my bright yellow banana jacket, he looked at my red crying eyes, and he just slowly walked completely backward out of the room. He thinks I'm entirely losing my human mind.
The bald manager is officially terrified of your emotional breakdowns, Sam. The yellow jacket, the sticky garlic soup, and now the crying bookworm. But honestly, crying at your corporate desk just proves how incredibly amazing the written story really is. When an author builds a fictional world that strong, you simply cannot put the heavy book down until the very last page.
Exactly. Even though my heart was completely broken by the cruel author, I was so incredibly hooked by the beautiful writing. I stayed up in my bed and read until 4 o'clock in the morning. I was completely captivated by the amazing fictional universe.
Wait, Sam, let us pause your magical midnight reading for a second. I think that is the absolute perfect, highly emotional vocabulary to finish our literary lesson today. Captivated.
Yes, captivated. It's a beautiful formal adjective that means to be completely attracted to something and to entirely hold someone's attention because it is so incredibly fascinating, beautiful, or exciting, like a magical book that keeps you awake until 4 in the morning.
Listeners, please practice this beautiful B2 level word and say it with us right now.
Say it loud and clear in your room, guys. Keep your tired eyes open.
Captivated.
Captivated. I'm officially completely captivated by paper reading now, Lita. The short, loud videos of the plastic piano cats are completely dead to me. I'm a serious, sophisticated intellectual who reads 1,000-page bricks.
A serious intellectual who uses classic literature as a hot soup coaster. We are so incredibly proud of your new reading journey, Sam. Reading is truly the absolute best way to learn new English vocabulary naturally. And speaking of incredible journeys,
Oh yes, it's officially time for our amazing listeners to grab their VIP tickets for our next wild adventure. We want you to stay completely captivated by the English language.
exactly. Grabbing your golden ticket is incredibly easy, guys. You just have to hit that shiny subscribe button down below right now. Hitting subscribe guarantees your comfortable seat on this crazy language bus, and it tells us that you're ready for the next fun lesson.
Don't lose your digital ticket, guys. Thank you so much for reading with us today. Keep immersing yourselves in great stories, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Go read a heavy paper book right now.